Hello! I've always wanted to create segments where I just kind of react, not really thinking, not using any footage, just sharing what I felt, what I saw, and having fun doing it. Tell me what you guys think. Now, this bout was really magical for me because not only did it look like a kung fu movie, and not only was it some of the highest level striking you could possibly ever see in the arena of mixed martial arts, beyond that, I'm truly a fan of both of these men. Anderson Silva, the GOAT, I grew up watching him. I definitely didn't want to see this legend past his prime get injured. Israel Adesanya, he's one of those guys where you look at him and you know he's going to be a big star. I knew that right away, and I've actually made work indicating that. Now, to this point, the fact that he's garnered over hundreds of millions of views on social media altogether, it speaks for itself. He's a superstar, and he's going to continue to grow. Considering the amount of time he spent in the UFC, that's pretty insane if you think about it. Now, a lot of people said Israel Adesanya was not worth the hype because he did not finish Anderson Silva, and when I heard that, it made me think that a lot of people did not understand stylistic matchup theory. It's like, first of all, consider Israel Adesanya's style. He can throw a powerful punch, sure, if he winded everything into it, I'm sure he could. The guy's like a bundle of fast twitch, but it just isn't part of his style. He doesn't do that. He just touches the guy. He sets up his strikes with like a wall of feints and just like a sea of illusions, and he just touches you, picks you apart in that ocean. It's like there's like this sea of feints, and you have piranhas nipping at you here and there, and you don't know where the piranhas are coming from. Meanwhile, Anderson Silva, he's really good off the back foot. He makes it very hard for his opponents to commit with something hard. If you overcommit, he loves moving back and touching you, effectively using your energy against you, your intention against you. That's what a good counter-strike does. Now you understand why it was hard for Israel Adesanya to finish him. Because Anderson, he may not have the same physical finesse he did when he was younger. He's still Anderson Silva. He still has his timing, and he can still raise his hand to throw a jab the same way he always has and touch the guy as he's coming in. If old men can play golf at a pretty good level, I'm sure Anderson, who's been training his entire life, the GOAT, can still touch a guy coming in. That is definitely always a threat. And he's a martial artist. He may have a dad bod, but he's always had a dad bod. That's actually one of the reasons why he took PD supposedly in the past, where he admitted that he was insecure about his body. And I would not think that's so far to the equation. He's very effeminate in the way he communicates, very androgynous. He seems like the kind of guy who would have that as a concern. And even if you look at his previous history, he was never recognized as this physical specimen who just blasted you with devastating athleticism. He's not a Tyron Woodley, you know, he's finesse. He's just a bundle of finesse. That's what he's always been, precision and finesse. His awareness of his body and his ability to find angles, move in ways his opponent could not. You know, he's a black belt in Taekwondo. He's a Muay Thai practitioner. He's done ballet, tap dancing. He talks about these things and how they've all meshed together to give him this capacity far beyond what other practitioners had. He just has more awareness in his body, of his body. And because of it, he can move and just touch you in ways where you cannot see his next shot coming, especially off the back foot when you're chasing him. This is why Israel Adesanya could not commit with something hard. That threat is always there. How many people have actually walked Anderson Silva down? Daniel Cormier, who's a light heavyweight, who Anderson Silva fought without a camp or anything really, I don't know what you eat in Brazil. It sounds probably good though. I love Latin food. I love Mexican food so much. Chipotle is probably my favorite place to eat in the world. Just simple, clean ingredients. I love that place. But you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's not an athletic specimen. He just has more awareness in his body. He's precise. He's finesse. Like, he's just pure finesse. And you walk in, he touches you, you fall. Why? Not because he's strong, but because he used your momentum against you. And so that's what Israel Adesanya was always wary of. Regardless of what taunts Anderson Silva did, he knew he should just keep touching him, just keep playing his intelligent game of not committing too hard and risking getting pulled into something heavy himself. Instead, just play that ocean of feints, have the piranhas nip from that ocean, and it worked very well. So, now we come to better understand a bit of why finishing Anderson Silva is so very difficult. If you are to commit with heavy force, you're likely to have that same intention used against you. That's what Anderson Silva is. A bundle of finesse, a high-level counter-striker. Even if he does not have the same physical aptitude that he did have in his prime, we must remember that he is a true martial artist through and through, that he takes care of himself, that he's always training, looking to learn and grow. Pair that with the fact that he's a very elusive striker. He hasn't taken a lot of damage throughout his career, and it's not like boxing where you're constantly taking head trauma. He's suffered very little trauma throughout his career, in proportion to other athletes. It's not like a football player where you're constantly getting a concussion from the tackles. It's not like boxing where the glove is peppering your mind over and over again. If you are to get knocked out in mixed martial arts, it'll likely be clean, which means you won't be taking more trauma after that, ensuring you take less brain damage long run. You pair that with today's medical advancements as well. This was not Anderson Silva in his prime, but you could be sure he'd give anyone in this division trouble. I guarantee you that. That said, I'd like to thank you both for this privilege to watch. If you'd like more from me, please subscribe and hit the notifications. Thank you if you did, it really does help the channel. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. It's good karma. And until next time, peace.